Do we have to press play on there or not?
Let's get ready for our very first test. Starting now.
Because it's not live.
We're getting ready for this first point. Scott Johnson. That's that activation of the middle we'll see from Canberra Heat. And a good use from the hands. James Kay, new addition to this team as the opposite, but he's going to be strong and crafty on that outside. Oh, unfortunate service error there. Those are worth points. They hurt in this format. Canberra Heat with the serve. We've got Charlie Beard here. Strong last week. We'll be seeing what he can do with this serve. Activate the middle straight away. Nick Boson off Damo's set.
Yeah, and we're going to see Vipers try to use him as much as possible. Dylan Lucchesi coming on now. They're going to be using him a lot as well.
Good spread there. That's that push around those middles. They'll be keeping the Canberra Heat middles on their toes.
Oh, it's a great dig by James Kay there. Just unlucky, didn't quite go high enough for Dylan to get it off the ground. That's a great high out-of-system swing by the Canberra Heat opposite.
I believe that's
low end.
Yep, great swing to get that angle, to find that angle. Apologies if the pronunciation's wrong. We'll work on that.
Free ball over the Vipers now. See what they can do with it. As expected, right through the middle, as that's where they're going to be their bread and butter all game, we think. Let's see what James Kay can bring from the service line here. This is his first debut for the league so far. Didn't play last week. It's a good strong start. Good.
And Canberra Heat run that pipe. That's that sort of offense. They love the middle of the court too. So we'll see who can run it more. If Tom McKinney can keep on finding that ball. He's distributed it well so far. They're doing well on side out.
And that's Charlie Beard again. He was very, very efficient last week against the New South Wales Phoenix.
Good way to absorb that ball off the veteran spiker, Paul Sanderson. Couldn't capitalise off the Damo block. Almost won't see that too often, but he shut it, pushed it back over the net, but Canberra got that fast one, just a no-man's land in the middle of the court. No one went for it.
Good on Canberra for fighting back after, unfortunately, not putting themselves in position to attack when they were out of system just then.
And off hands again from James Kay.
That is his bread and butter. He is so good at that. We've seen it in his local club season. He just goes by and nothing flashy, just high and off the hands, really consistent, really stable and grounded gameplay.
These Canberra Heat blockers will just need to push their hands maybe that little bit later. Just be nice, consistent, let the defenders move around them. They were great on defense last week, so we'll be watching to see them get those balls up.
Canberra.
So far, they've been putting it.
Canberra Heat's breathing a sigh of relief there as Paul Sanderson misses that first serve, but they should be worried he'll probably warm into the game as it goes.
Just trading service errors there.
So that's Levi Beard. Charlie and him are brothers. So keep an eye out for them.
A little bit of heritage. I believe their father, an old national team
David
Beard.
Yep.
They've probably got some good foundations going there.
It's a great serve by Dylan. And that's going to be the difference between these two teams is the Canberra Heat being much younger. They did well to be out of system there and still swing at the ball, but it's going to be how long can they stay in these rallies? How much experience can they draw from themselves to stay in these rallies and stay engaged?
Oh, Dylan Lucchesi Gets Charlie Beard off the outside of his platform. Those serves are so hard to pass. They're real rockets, flat. He's got an interesting sort of service routine about him. Goes for one of those hybrids that are sort of getting more and more popular. You see more and more people introducing them to the game.
We spoke to him before the game, and he was excited to see just the damage that he can pull to this Canberra Heat team, and he, no word of a lie, he knows what damage his serve can do. He knows what he's good at. Let's see how Canberra Heat can respond to this serve. Can they just get it high in the middle, be out of system, and have a swing? Oh, didn't need to, but we don't mind that. That's 2 aces to 1 error. Dylan won't be displeased with that in any way. So we know Vipers are just going to run through the middle as much as they can. When they get a good pass, that's what they're going to do. So Canberra Heat really need to put the pressure on the serve. They really need to get this Vipers passing on 3 metres and go straight out to the sticks.
Oh, great work from Charlie Beard at the sticks. That's that efficient hitting that he's had so far this season. We're only in the second round, but no doubt he'll keep on finding those points throughout this game.
And good craftiness from him to realise he's wider than the antenna, to see the triple block and to play that cut shot into the cross. Really good swing off the hands there from Scott Johnson. We saw him last week. He was really good. He was really good from the baseline, and he passed really well. Had an absolutely phenomenal game. Disappointed for the Vipers they didn't get the win, so he'll be hungry for more this week, I reckon.
Oh, good leadership. He's got the experience to know what to do with that ball. Doesn't blaze, doesn't do anything too much. Just takes care of it to finish the point. That's what they'll need, really, to just reinforce these service runs.
It's a great pass from Charlie Beard. Oh, a great block.
Rex Merriweather, I think there in the middle, got that one. Maybe a little bit of Tom McKinney. They'll be both want ownership of that one.
We spoke to him before the game. He said he was very excited to get out there and try and block Sando, and he potentially has just got one on the belt.
Very early in this game to get that. He'll be hoping to rack a couple up together.
He'll be chuffed with himself, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure he's actually smiling at us right now. Yeah. That's unfortunate. But that's okay. I think Canberra Heat, what they really need to do with this Vipers team is they have to go after their serves, and they just have to be okay with the errors. Because otherwise, Vipers are going to pass well and they're going to run through the middle, and it'll be devastating.
Oh, just misses that outside edge of that line. That was a close one. Confident leave, though, so all works out.
Oh, it's a great serve. Right in between that narrow corridor of hesitation between the libero and the pass hitter and backcourt. That's a great way to put a team out of system instantly, but he's been rewarded with the ace.
That's that. How you beat these passes. They're both very crafty and good when it's in their system. Unfortunately, it goes long the second time through. We'll be very happy to have got that first one.
So it's 13-10 to the Vipers' way. Canberra Heat not far away. Oop, we just have our first power play for the Canberra Super Heat. I think they're trying to put pressure on James K's serve. Maybe he takes a bit off. Maybe this is a bit of an easier reception for the Canberra Heat, and they can run their middle. There's a good pass. That's a great cover. The ball is still alive.
Until Lucchesi punishes them through the middle.
That's a great effort from the Superheat. Unfortunate that they had to give the free ball. Vipers responding kind by going right through the middle. All right, power play number 2. Again, I think James Kay's probably got a bit of confidence now. He might go for this one a bit more.
And they get the error, so that'll be 2 points to the Canberra Heat. The Canberra Superheat getting that one. That's probably what they would have hoped for a point earlier, but now Tom McKinney will be looking to put a little bit of pressure back on the Vipers here.
Yeah, so he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to go too easy, but he also doesn't want to risk the error and miss out on this power play for this set. That's unfortunate. So Canberra Heat, not too bad there. They got 1 out of 3 power plays. Not too bad, but maybe not what they would have wanted. They successfully put pressure on James Kay's serve. They got it back, and then they unfortunately didn't quite have the response to get the third and potentially close this gap to make it 14 all in the set. But now it's 15-12, and the Vipers are serving with Paul Sanderson.
We see Hunter Hopkins come on for Damo Whitburn just to be that front court setter.
And a bit of a bigger blocking presence.
Not needed when you serve aces like that, but...
We mentioned it earlier. Paul Sanderson's going to warm into this game. He's going to start ripping serves, and the Canberra Heat are going to have to find creative ways to deal with it. Again, they'll be breathing a very big sigh of relief, I reckon.
He's a very dangerous man when he gets on those service runs. They'll be lucky to have got away that quick.
Damien Whitburn coming back on court. Hunter's done his job of blocking substitution. He's now taking a rest on the bench.
Levi Beard will be looking to put a bit of heat, try and get back into this set to finish. Just try and bring Damo off that net. What a heavy arm from Duluchez. He's had a few big heavy swings. I'd love to see the speedo on those. Those are
fast and they're heavy and they're sharp too. That's set points. That's 17-13. Dil Lucchesi going back to serve. Let's see if he can bring another ace. You know, when you've got this lead, when you've got this buffer, by all means, go for it. You have to go for it in this competition. You have to serve tough. You have to go risk the error. He won't be disappointed by that after going in and getting, I think, 3 kills in that one rotation. And then there's that backcourt middle of the that middle of the court backcourt activation by Paul Sanderson. We know the Vipers, they want to do that as often as they possibly can.
Yeah, Boston did a tremendous job of catching that young middle on the other side. So he's obviously watching that middle attack that's got them a couple times so far. That's when you throw that ball to that pipe. Gives them the open court, really lets them have a field day.
So Vipers take the opening set, and they do exactly as we expect. They run through the middle of the court. Props to the Vipers passing unit who passed an outstanding first set. Looking to the second set, the Canberra Heat, they probably want to serve a little bit tougher, and they probably want to clean up a little bit of their out-of-system. A couple of times they got the dig, and they couldn't quite transition into that out-of-system attack. Or if they did, it wasn't quite effective enough to put enough pressure on the Vipers to allow them to attack back just as hard. Because a couple of times they're out-of-system, they do a really good job, and then they have to give the free ball over, which allows the Vipers just to attack fast through the middle. Yeah,
they'll be trying to refine their serve reception as well, bring them back in system. To activate that middle, we saw how effective they could be early in that set and sort of fell away as that fatigue sets in. Sometimes that's one of the first things to go, but till that point they were very effective. They'll be looking to do it, so no change of sides in this format after the first set. They'll just be straight back out there. This is the only little break they'll get. Les Young, coach for the Canberra Superheat, will be giving some inspiring words, getting them back, refocused, just looking to get some value out of these points. Really see what they want to be as a team, as a unit. So Young really working together. Yeah,
and the Vipers probably looking to do more of the same. They came out, they were really aggressive. Couple of errors here and there, which they won't be upset about at all. Like, the errors come with being very aggressive. Only one change for the Vipers. Kanwar Singh is coming on for Dylan Lucchesi in the middle position. Let's see what he can bring to the table. I imagine he'll get set quite a bit.
Oh, good coverage from Darcy Cox there to keep that ball in after the misconnection between the setter and the pipe, but he's found that back corner.
That's 2 weeks in a row. Darcy has got a dig kill. Yeah. Last week we saw it. He got the dig, he landed on the baseline, and he got the kill. 2 weeks in a row for Darcy Cox.
You won't see a Libero with that many kills, hopefully, very often.
Apologies, Kanwar Singh is actually coming on for Nick Boston. Dylan Lucchesi to serve. That's a great response from the Canberra Superheat, and that's exactly what they'll be after. Get the dig, be out of system, and run back through the middle of the court or run through the sticks, high off hands, all that sort of thing. Yeah,
the benefit of having a tall setter like Tom McKinney. He was able to dump that ball, put Vipers out of system, get the ball returned, run that pipe. Charlie Beard's been doing some serious damage so far.
And we see instant impact from Kanwar. And he's a very effective middle. We see him at State League. He's very dominant, very scary to play against. James Kay back to serve. Let's see what he can bring from the baseline. An ace. Straight off the bat. What a great serve from the youngster. Youngest of three? Three brothers, one younger sister. All volleyballers.
All very good.
All very good volleyballers, yes.
Similar game style you'll see across them all. His brothers are over in America, I believe. College, so... just missed that outside line.
Narrowly missing the sideline of the baseline, I believe. He won't be disappointed with that, I don't think.
Kept that linesman's eyes on that for a little bit longer. That was definitely a close one.
They're really testing our linesmen here. They do a great job.
Unfortunate block coverage from the Canberra Heat. Just unlucky, just outside Tom McKinney's reach. But great high, hard swing from Sanderson. Just to really find that ball, he goes back to serve. Great work from Lockie McLean to just absorb so much of that power.
It's a great swing.
And then Levi Beard finds Scott Johnson's inside arm. Hits that sharp angle.
And now he goes back to serve. Let's see if he can put the Vipers under a bit more pressure from this service line. Vipers doing a tremendous job, passing really well and really clean to give Damien Whitburn all of his options almost all the time.
We'll see how he's using him. He went with the setter dump and gets the kill. He'll be happy. Oh, Lockie McLean with a perfect pass again.
Yeah.
And they really activate that middle. Maximilian Edvardson.
As we said before the game started, Canberra Heat be looking to be in system to use their middles as much as they can because that's what they can bring to the table.
They're very active. That's his first big swing that we've seen this set, so he'll be looking to do that more and more and more and more. A bit of craftiness from Scott Johnson at the stick. But draw both blockers in, expecting the hard swing, and then just taking care of that ball. It's a hard skill to do, but he does it well.
It's unfortunate that the Canberra Superheat didn't capitalise on the overpass. That's really where they need to kill the ball instantly and not extend the rally. Don't let Vipers get it back in control and attack back. Yeah. So, Dilukezi just coming over.
Tom McKinney just
reaching into the wrong side of the net. That's not his ball.
Tall. He's very tall, so his hands get up there too easily, maybe.
Yeah, it potentially needs to reach straight up to get that ball before it crosses the plane. Some players say the ball doesn't lie potentially, or potentially Damien's just not particularly happy with that serve.
Yeah. We see Nick Carswell coming on. Do a bit of serve, so we'll see what damage he can do from behind the baseline. As their second setter, might be shifting Tom McKinney to be that front court hitter. Lockie McLean, great defensive up. Unfortunately, hits the bottom of the antenna. So hitting the antenna, that just rules that ball as dead, out of play. Otherwise, they would have kept that. It's a very hard ball to keep going.
So you're right, they are making that setter opposite change. So now Tom McKinney is now attacking from the front court as the opposite. And Scott Johnson narrowly misses the baseline on that serve. Melbourne Vipers calling their first power play of the game.
Your Melbourne Vipers with their very first power play. Remembering double points for the next 3 volleys.
Just a bit of a miscommunication.
Yeah.
Ref signalling for the power play. Thought it was the start of serve. Rushed through that routine a little bit, but now Charlie Beard gets to go again. And Paul Sanderson rockets one off the block across court
So
for their
Vipers get
first
2.
power play. So they'll get 2 points for that one. They'll be looking to take risks on those power plays. You're really rewarded for just getting those kills, being highly efficient at that stick, as Paul Sanderson has been over his career.
He's a very reliable player, and that's probably the player they're going to set most times on a power play, I would expect.
So they go back to him again. Draws the net touch off the blockers. That'll hurt on a power play, but that's maybe a little bit of that youthfulness. Just knowing where to reach, where to put that extra effort. Unfortunately, probably a little tense, expecting a big rocket from Sanderson, and he just takes care of it. And a hard and fast, tight, flat, float serve, hybrid, bit of spin on it to get 3 from 3 for those power plays. So
The Vipers will be really happy with that result, and that's great work from Dylan Lucchesi to go back there with confidence and put this Canberra Heat team under so much pressure from the baseline. And again, what a rocket. There's not a lot you can do about that serve. You just got to get your body behind it, get that ball up nice and high in the middle, and hope that you can score out a system or at least put pressure back on the other team. I imagine that's what the Canberra Heat team will be looking to do on this next one.
the power play's over. You can ease off a little bit. James Kay just sending that ball back, just unfortunately. Slight overset, and they'll punish that when you've got such a tall front court that the Vipers have. They've got some tremendous blockers. Not that that's really a block. That's just a glory ball, we call it.
Yep.
Just
the paradise ball.
Paradise ball. Just get that.
The free swing.
Free swing, get it on the stat sheet.
Oh.
Good bit of run there, though. That's not bad. He's happy to come off. Has a bit of a cheer. Bit of a high five for the teammates. He'll be glad that he got those couple.
Don't think he's disappointed with that performance at all. That was pretty impressive.
Rex Merriweather to serve, see if he can return a little bit of pressure.
Kanwar Singh showing how good he is through the middle.
First swing of the game for him?
Second.
Oh, your Melbourne Vipers, who makes the noise for them?
This environment in stadium, tremendous. Lots of home crowd fans here at Dandenong. As we see Hunter Hopkins come back on for Damien Whitburn to be that front court blocking presence as the setter.
So I believe the Vipers just got called
For screening?
Screening, I believe that signal is.
I think just a little bit of late movement from Canwa as a blocker is not allowed. You must be set before service.
We don't see it often, but occasionally we do see it.
That's that block presence. That's why he's there. Oh, and Sando shutting down that stick hit from behind.
And Vipers take the set 18-8. That's a very dominant performance from them. They capitalised on every power play opportunity they possibly could. And now they're 2 sets in the lead.
Yeah, that power play is what does a lot of damage. You get six points there instead of just 3. Extended that lead from about that middle of the set point. From 10 to, you then get to 16.
Teams can take off quick if they get 2 out of 3, and Vipers got all 3. They just took off, and the set was basically theirs at that point. Alex, if you're Canberra Heat right now, what are you doing in this next set? Like, what's the prep talk? What do you think Les Young is telling the boys right now?
Just to clean up that sort of out-of-system work. They're maybe doing a bit too much, putting the hitters under a bit more pressure. They've just really got to ease it back, calm down, recenter, refocus, and just better that ball is probably a saying I've heard Les say before to myself, so that's probably something he's saying, is just take care of it, really improve on whatever opportunities you've got so you can really put that pressure back on the Vipers.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if they can bring that into set 3.
Because we do still thank again our league sponsor, Mahindra Australia. They've been making SUVs for over 75 years and offer a range of family vehicles, including the 7-seat XUV 7 Double and the Go Anywhere 4-wheel drive Scorpio, which recently set a Guinness World Record for the fastest crossing of the Simpson Desert.
Oh.
Interesting. I'll have to give that a ride because Mahindra offers families with great value option to help bring a game every day. With prices starting at just $36,990 drive away, visit your local dealer or book your test drive at mahindra.com.au.
All right, so heading into set 3 now, I think the Canberra Super Heat, they'll be looking to try and just put pressure on the Vipers. I think the Melbourne Vipers right now, through the middle of the court, they're at 100%. Anything that goes through the middle of the court, they are killing. So the Canberra Heat need to do their best to have some block presence or serve a little bit tougher, put them closer to the attack line, put them off the attack line so that they can do a little bit more work, get some more double blocking out to the sticks and stop guys like Paul Sanderson, Scott Johnson and James Kay, or at least at the minimum get some soft touches on the block, get some defense and then be back in a position to attack back at the Vipers. So Scott Johnson's going to start us off this set. Let's see how the Canberra Heat respond.
Gets Charlie Beard pushing Tom McKinney off the net. Oh, great use off hands there from Alan Moisiku.
That's a good response. That's a very good response from the Canberra Heat. That's exactly what we said that they should do, is get some soft blocks, get some defensive touches, and then put themselves back in a position to attack. And they've done that really well just then.
So it was Alan Mangatil, Vincent, that's got a couple of attacks there, back-to-back, that he really was putting that pressure on from that left side.
And this is the first time we've seen him this game. He's on for Levi Beard, potentially bringing a bit of different presence, but he's just been stopped there by Nick Boson and James Kay, a very, very large double block, and that's a tough block to get through.
Tough block to get through, tough block to get around.
It's a very large block. Nick Boson back to serve now. Kamwar Singh replacing Dylan Lucchesi this time, so the Vipers really rotating between those 3 middle options.
Really keeping them all fresh, I think, is probably the plan. Great high system, out of system set there from Lockie McLean.
Ooh.
Alan trying to go off hands, but that block just takes care of it, takes enough off of it just to keep that ball landing inside the court.
Definitely the right option against a big block like that, just unfortunately not quite executing it just as much as needed to. Very close to the line and called in. Canberra Heat passing well there, but just missing the middle block. Not by much, but goes out the baseline.
That'll be fine. They better just keep staying aggressive. Keep going for it. They'll find it. Keep rolling the dice. Oh, just dropping short. Thought maybe that was going to clip the top of the tape and roll over. Just short.
Unfortunately, not this time.
Not this time. Boston does that an awful lot.
Tom McKinney back to serve now. He's been serving pretty well. Let's see who goes after on the Vipers team. Oh, that is a destructive hit from Paul Sanderson, and he is a guy to do that regularly.
Yeah, if he can come up against single blocks like that, because Damien Whitburn is able to run and has been running every option, it's just really hard for blockers to get to wherever it's going to go. You have to wait that little bit longer, read a little bit later, go a little bit faster.
It's a great pass and a great swing with one-on-one. This is what Canberra Heat need to do. They need to pass like they've been passing at the start of this set. That way Vipers have to respect the middle. They have to stay there and they can get one-on-ones on the stick. And that's a really good response to the last couple sets.
Yeah, Alan Mangatil-Vincent making his presence known this set. He's just started this set and we've had to say his name a couple times for good reasons.
First error of the game for Canwa. He'll be disappointed with that one potentially. Maybe a bit of a mismatch and mistiming between him and Damo. Let's see if they run it again.
Keeping it up. Lockie McLean doing good work. Oh, just unfortunately not being able to return that ball. There's a lot of power behind that swing, and he's just gotten his body central behind it, kept that inside court. Yeah. I'd be happy with that as a libero.
Absolutely. Great work from the Canberra Heat to side out from Paul Sanderson's serve as quickly as possible. Scott Johnson showing that he can find the angle around a big double block, and he's quite a large young hitter, and he knows how to hit crafty, he knows how to hit big, and he knows how to find his angles, and he's done a really great job there.
Great set there to get that out to Charlie Beard, and he's found that angle just short of Canwa. After his serve, middles, step in, play defense.
That's a great option to be swinging back at a middle rather than a libero. Liberos are trained specifically for that defensive touches, whereas middles, not so much.
Middles always tell me they love it, though.
Yeah. It's fun to be hitter.
It's their 1 point.
Well, it depends on who the hitter is.
Play defense. Oh, catches that tape, drops short.
Canberra Heat would be happy with that one. Unfortunate. Potentially a little bit of a lower, not as aggressive toss. Had to adjust, didn't quite get it over the net.
We did also see Dan Mozescu come on there for Tom McKinney as that front court opposite, change at the setter.
So a traditional 6-2 sort of sub.
Yeah, we'll be looking to see how they can impact the game.
Let's see how the Canberra Heat respond with this free ball here. Not a bad option. Potentially could have wanted that free ball a little bit tighter so he could use his middle, but they won't be upset about that at all.
He's crafty from the stick, being able to find that line outside, drop that short.
It's rare we see anyone tip past Darcy Cox.
It's a tough ask, and he did it well. Unfortunately, doesn't back it up with the serve, but good bit of intent, good bit of focus behind it. They're even, so they've got to keep taking these risks.
And they have done a good job to somewhat nullify the middles on the Vipers because they haven't been set as much this set as they have in previous sets. Just long from Scott Johnson.
Trading those missed serves. Both teams are needing to step up that pressure, a bit more power, finding that little bit next level to put pressure on these passes. Both teams have been passing pretty well this set. Good blocking presence there. Adjustment of the hands. Gets him. Oh, goes again.
Probably need to be a little bit more structured with your block. You can't chase a very, very experienced hitter like Paul Sanderson. As soon as your hands aren't structured and aren't solid, he will use and abuse them. He will take them and he will go, thanks for the free point.
Yeah, maybe wasn't expecting the reset from Damien, but, I mean, Damien loves to go back to his hitters.
Yeah, we saw it earlier with Kanwar. Make the error the first time and then let's go again. Let's give it another go.
Good defensive touch from Scott Johnson.
That's more like it from the Canberra Superheat. That's the defensive touches we need. That's the out-of-system balls they need to go. They need to get the dig, and they've put themselves in position to attack, and they've taken advantage. And now they're 2 points ahead of the Melbourne Vipers.
The double sub returning the other way, so we're bringing back Tom McKinney here to be our setter, and Alan Mangatil. Sorry, not Alan. That is Iona Enesco. He's been pretty effective as that right side for them, so good to get him back. He's matching up with Paul Sanderson.
And that's exactly what we went back to before, about being really structured against a veteran hitter like Paul Sanderson. He will take advantage where he sees it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They did good with the service pressure there to get Darcy passing that ball off the net, and good efforts to get that triple block there. They'll just be looking to refine that.
I'm sensing that the Vipers are feeling a little bit of pressure, having Canberra Heat a little bit more ahead. They're making a few more errors where they normally wouldn't.
Seeing this is their last chance to call a power play. No power play being called.
Let's see what Paul Sanderson goes with here. That's a great pass from the Canberra Heat. And a great run to the middle. They will be super happy with that result.
Incredible timing. That's good tempo coming from that high release point. Tom McKinney.
And great work by Lockie McLean. He's done really well to fight off one of the best servers in the league.
He's been absorbing some hard balls all game.
Yeah.
Scott Johnson just missing wide, went for that high, hard angle. Usually he might find that. Just unfortunate. The defence on Canberra's side moved around that really well, so no doubt they would have probably got a good defensive touch on that if that came in. Pass push tight. Damien Whitburn.
Just clipping the net on that dump, I think. I think he just followed through a little bit too much on the ball and just clipped a little bit of the net.
I think that's the second or third time that's happened this game. These passes are just drifting a little bit too tight, a little bit on the net, and this Canberra Heat side has some serious height behind it, so they can get those hands up easy. James Kay finding the court on that back A.
He's been really solid this game, and he'd be the youngest guy on the court.
Yeah. He's got experience, though, so he knows what he's doing.
This is an interesting one from the Vipers. Service sub, Dylan Lucchese coming on, and what a service sub to make. Having him in your back pocket to come and do some serving after his performance in the last two sets.
Yeah, he's been pretty hot, so no doubt that factors into just letting him rep. Maybe bring back a couple points towards the business end of this set.
He opts with the float now. That's what the benefit of having that hybrid is. You can decide mid-toss what you want to do.
Oh, incredible blocking, both sides of the court. Both been doing some serious movement there. Canberra Heat got the recycle and then just unfortunately couldn't break through them the second time.
We spoke about it before the match, that the Vipers are a very good blocking unit and you need to be prepared to recycle a few times before you can find a gap.
Oh, great angle from Charlie Beard. That's an effective hitting we saw last week. He's been very crucial in big points. Great high ball set from Lockie McNeely. Just let that drop into his shoulder, let him work, make a decision. Where do I want to go? And he finds that cross.
Sometimes it's not about hitting the ball hard, it's about taking what you've given. And they gave him cross and he took it. He took it really, really well.
Yeah, it's a hard angle to hit.
That's a very big block that Scott Johnson's up against with Tom McKinney. But I dare say he's actually over the top of that block.
Yeah, he got pretty darn high that time.
Scott Johnson is a tall guy and he's very athletic.
He can jump.
Nice high swing from the opposite there. Canberra Heat doing a much better job responding to the surface pressure from the Vipers this set. They're passing way better than they have been.
Oh, just unfortunate that one sneaks under his elbows. Maybe just pulled those hands back a little bit to reach a little higher because Scott gets up there and just drags it down on their side of the net.
Scott's definitely got the hot hand now. I wonder if Damo's going to use him in backcourt as well.
Oh, Tom McKinney taking that one off Sanderson's hands.
Not a lot of other options you can do there.
That's not an option available to a lot of setters, but when you have that height, that athleticism, you can do stuff like that.
There we go. Nick Boston back to prove that the middles are back.
Nick Boston here to serve. It is set point for Canberra, 16-17. They just need one side out to put this set to bed. They've been so effective on side out, so they'll be looking just one more.
So 17-all. This is not win by 2. It is golden point. So whoever takes this point takes the set.
We'll be seeing the thoughts running through Tom McKinney's head. What options are available to him? Who's hot?
I'd be interested to see if he gives the ball to Charlie Beard here in the backcourt.
Just beats him at the net. Crafty.
Doesn't set anyone. Sets himself.
Takes it on his back. So that earns him 2 championship points. Their first for the league this year in round 2. So they'll be very happy. This is why we said that they're a dangerous team. They find that rhythm. They work together well. They just look, and they will take sets off these teams.
And once they find their success, they're just going to get more and more confident. And we saw them then. They were passing the ball better. They were more confident to swing it out of system. And it showed. The Vipers were put under pressure. Their blocking was not as dominant when the Canberra Heat could pass the ball well and hold the middles in place.
Another sponsor, a partner of the league that we will thank is Hancock Prospecting. They've just been a supporter of the league for a long time.
Yeah.
As long as I've been around, and always great to see their banners put up around the stadium.
So Vipers will be looking to clean it up this next set to get back to the form of them using their middles. They like to win through the middle of the court, and they'll be looking to do that again. But they'll have to pass a little bit better, and they'll have to put the Canberra Heat team back under a bit more pressure from their service line.
Charlie Beard has been bearing a lot of the offense on his back this game, but I think that last set they really found other options. They ran that back a little bit behind through Allen, and then also other pass hitters being able to do a lot of work there. They'll be looking to keep that up, maybe still find their middles just that little bit more.
Yeah, they'll just look even better when they start engaging their middles. Their outsides did a really good job. Charlie Beard did a really good job being dynamic, being crafty, but when he doesn't have to carry so much of the load, it'll just be better for the team. Let's see if they can repeat success in this set. Charlie Beard starting us off now.
Boston punishing him. Great way to open the set.
Establish the middles instantly. It's something we see teams try and do from the start as often as possible, is go straight through the middle, establish that you've got it, and start getting into the mind of the other team's middle that they have to respect their middle all game long.
It'll make Rex Merriweather just keep his eye held that little bit longer before he cheats to an outside maybe. Good recycle there. And finds the outside touch of that block. Gets the pinky finger, maybe the fingernail of James Kay.
Yeah, great work from our line ref to spot that one.
Canwa rocketing that one. Sharp through 5. Not sure if there was much more Rex could have done in that situation.
He was in the right spot, hit him right there.
Just sometimes it'll come off, sometimes it won't. But he's done everything right. Oh, James Kay finding that baseline. Great high contact. He's got such long levers. He can get up there, snap that ball down sharp. He'll be looking to do that again. They've opened this set well. The Vipers have.
Yeah, right back to form, right back to sets 1 and 2 sort of performance. Yeah.
Tough work to get hit twice there, Lockie McLean. The first one just a bit too much on it on serve reception, and then Sando in a one-on-one situation is a scary sight to see.
Yeah, it's not someone you want to be looking at when they're hitting at you, I don't think, especially when there's only one blocker there.
Great defensive movement. And he finds the hands.
Oh,
no.
Just missing potentially.
Misses.
But the right option, I think, when you've got those two blockers in front of you.
Yeah.
James Kay and Kamwa, two very big blockers, well-formed blockers. I'd be going for the hands as well, I think.
Yeah, you got to go for it. Unfortunate at this point in the set that they've just lost a couple to open it up. No timeouts to reset, so they'll have to find something on court.
Or they can thank James Kay after the game for missing that one wide. Oh.
A little bit of talk with the umpire. Just checking. Everyone's in check.
Just checking everyone's here to play.
Yeah.
Good serve from Tom McKinney. Yeah. And why not set the guy who's just been rocketing serves from the baseline? Keep him warm, keep him engaged. So I wonder if potentially Les Young is thinking about using a power play early in this set to get the superheat to catch up. Probably not using it on Paul Sanderson's serve, though.
Both teams still have 2 power plays left, and there's 2 more sets, so we will probably see them both come in play in this set.
Yeah, I imagine.
At some point, Canberra Heat will just be trying to find probably a bit of a stronger rotation than receiving from Paul Sanderson.
They are fighting off these serves very well, though. Great craftiness from Scott Johnson. He really can do it all. He can attack hard, he can attack angles, and he can tip and play off hands. And that's a really deadly combination.
Oh, great dive.
Oh, I think Darcy Cox will be wanting that one back, but it's a great move and it's a great option, great creative option for Canberra Heat to get out of that rotation. They really need to fight hard to get out of strong serving rotations from the Vipers.
Yeah, great angle to be able to find the floor in those situations. They've been pretty effective out of system for a youthful team. That's often a little bit of a focus.
Just being a little bit too aggressive on the block there and trying to reach into too much space and just clipping the net. Dylan Lucchesi coming back on to play his role and potentially put even more pressure on this Canberra Heat team. That's a great pass.
Just unfortunate at the stick. I think it just beat him that little bit wide. Tried to do something with it. We'll see a sub. Brother for brother. Levi on for Charlie. Just let him refocus that head a little bit, maybe. Get that mental side back. He's been so effective.
He's been playing the whole game. Give him a little breather. Give him a little bit of rest. Put his younger brother on and see how he fares against the Dylan Lucchesi serve. Unfortunately, Dylan Lucchesi just capitalising on the new sub, serving in that seam, getting them talking instantly.
And we see the Vipers power play. This was their last opportunity to call it, so might as well get it in play on that 11-point margin.
And they've got a tremendous lead now, and Dylan is serving amazingly, so why not capitalise and call it now? Get this game closed up. Take the set. We do see that, though. The power plays do increase the pressure. They increase the nerves, and they make it hard to serve tough. So we occasionally see them backfire a little bit like that.
Being worth 2 points, they let you go for the risk because there is more reward and value behind it, but it does just hurt the service error that little bit more.
Ooh. It's like the half slide. We don't see it too often in men's volleyball, but Boston and Damo just misconnecting a little bit there. Bowie just put it a little bit wide, but not a bad one at all.
I think Bowie's a pioneer of that on the men's side. He loves it.
He runs it a lot in State League and causes a lot of teams headaches. There you go. There's the Melbourne Vipers re-establishing the middle of the court with Paul Sanderson running through that back court. So they only got 1 of 3 power plays then, but that's okay. That it helps them increase their lead, helps them increase the chances of them closing this set out. Canberra Heat got a lot of catching up to do.
We see Hunter Hopkins coming on for Damien Whitburn. This is his first season with the Vipers, so he's looking for a little bit of in-game experience, I think, at the moment, just to really work on his connection with the hitters. He's been pretty effective so far. Good float serve.
That's a great crafty play from Ione. He's had a tough game against some tough blockers, and he's had to really think of some creative ways to get out of it, and he's done it a couple of times. He's done it again. Unfortunately, not being rewarded too much because Les Young opting to go for the 6-2 sub, change up the setup, change up the opposite, and keep a bigger blocking presence in the front court.
Nick Carswell to serve.
I think it's pretty rare you'll see Scott Johnson not score a point against one blocker.
Too many options available to him. He's got too much in his bag he can pull from. Not many people are as fluid, as responsive.
We believe Les Young has just called the power play for the Canberra Heat. He has.
You have. Buzzer beater call for that power play, maybe.
Not a bad option there. They'll be happy with that one. I think, again...
Dan Mazutsku just coming in there, taking control. A nice, long, hard tip from probably a little bit up high. Just good high contact point. He'll be looking to do that to win those 2 points. That was effective.
Scott Johnson potentially having to take some pace off of that serve when the power play was called to try and keep it in, and that gave Canberra the opportunity to pass the ball a little bit better and then run a good offense.
We see Manjot Singh coming on for Scott Johnson. Tremendous passer, evident in that tremendous pass. Just allowing Hunter to take care of that ball. Get it out to Sando. He can swing high, hard off hands.
Have to highlight how hard it is coming onto a game when you're cold and haven't been on in the set or the game so far and being service targeted and passing the way he does. He does a tremendous job at it. Just a little bit of confusion between the refs here. They'll just be having a chat to sort it out.
They were just saying, hey, how are you?
Yeah, just catching up. So this is Canberra Heat's third potential power play for the one that they've called. Their last chance to get 2 points and creep just a little bit closer to the Melbourne Vipers. It's a hope that they can produce some break points and maybe get this set under control and maybe take it at the finish line. Referees just sorting out potentially a rotation issue.
Just a
I'm
little
sure they'll
bit.
get it back under control quickly.
Resuming, everything was all good.
So let's see if this small time delay works in the favour of the superheat, and see if Boston potentially takes some off this serve. He does, and it's passed well.
Oh, and snuck through that blocker. Maybe just jumped that a little bit early.
I think he ran in really early. Lucky that he had that tip in his back pocket.
Yeah, Dan slowed himself down. It's always a good thing to have in your bag, that little stutter. Oh, draw in the block and then just play your shots.
Well, if you don't know the timing, neither did the blockers.
Oh, Dilichesi back through the middle.
Shout
A utility, he can do it all.
He really can do it all. Shout out to Hunter Hopkins too as well. He hasn't been on much. He hasn't set a lot of balls, but to be able to get out there and set and have a good connection with your middle when you haven't been playing too much is really promising from him.
Oh, and he's blocking too. He can do it all. What can't he do on court? Is there anything?
I'd like to see him try set.
He has.
He probably can.
He has, and he does. Yep. Every now and again, he can be that designated setter on court if you're making a blocking sub. He's done it at this level.
That's true, he has. He did it last year.
And finishes that set. That's a tremendous three-point run for him.
Yeah.
Just involving himself to really round out that set, end it.
So, Melbourne Vipers, they take the game 3-1, but we play compulsory 5. There are more championship points up for grabs if the Canberra Heat can close out another set. If they can bounce back from this result, close out the last set, they're going to put themselves in a better position on the ladder because each set is worth 2 championship points. But a reminder, next round, round 3, Saturday the 14th of September, the Melbourne Vipers are playing the Perth Steel at 3 p.m. at the MSAC Arena. Perth Steel being very dominant from last year. They were the gold medal winners. It's going to be a very, very entertaining match. Make sure you head to the melbournevipers.com.au and go and pick up your tickets now. It's going to be an incredible match.
I think Perth Steel won gold last year for both the men's
Men and women's, yes.
So they'll be a tough match for both the men and women next weekend. Probably teams are already doing video on that, already preparing.
Yeah, the boys will be already thinking about it, or potentially not right now, but during the week at trainings, they'll be talking about it. They'll be talking about strategies. They'll be talking about tactics.
A little bit of turnover on those Perth Steel teams. Vipers teams, I think, have had a pretty good through line. A lot of returning players this year.
Very consistent squad over the last couple of years, I think.
It helps in a short season like this to have a through line because you return back to your standard state league, whatever competition you participate in. Then you have to join. You get a couple weeks and you're already playing at the highest level in this country. It helps when you are next to people you've been with, have a good relationship with. That's probably a little bit of a challenge the Canberra Heat men will be trying to face now is we're all young. We're all new to this format. And they've done tremendous so far.
So we've seen a couple of changes from both sides. So Manjot Singh keeps his place on the court over Scott Johnson, giving him a break, giving him a breather. He's done really well this match. He probably deserves a bit of a rest on the bench there. Levi Beard keeping his place over his brother, potentially just giving Charlie a bit of a rest. Levi brought something a little bit different, a little bit of a different look for the Canberra Heat team. That's unfortunate. It's a good chase, but the ball does have to go outside the antenna for you to go to the other side of the net to bring it back. I think that was through the antenna for sure. So, the experienced campaigner, Paul Sanderson, really dishing out some heat from the baseline. And commentator's curse apparently is a thing.
Too much heat.
I think every time I've given him a compliment, he's blown it out the back.
No more compliments.
No more compliments for the service.
He does do a lot, though, so he probably will definitely get more compliments.
Manjot Singh, again, demonstrating that, I dare say, he'd be one of the best players that I've ever seen come on cold and just perform.
Just
He
in
did it last
transition.
week. He did it. He's doing it now. It's incredible to watch.
Best at being drawn in short and still finding a way to get outside court.
He's not a pass hitter you want to serve short. He can transition off one step and just attack the ball. I think that is off hands. It's a great run from Levi Beer. And again, Canberra Heat look really good when they can pass the ball really well. They've got so many options, so dynamic, and they look really good when they can engage their middle of the court. That's when they really shine. But it's just a matter of how long can you hold off the Vipers' serve from the baseline.
Good use off the outside hand there from Alan Magatil-Vincent. Great set from Tom McKinney.
Great defensive play. Put them right back in system with that defensive play.
Yeah. Makes it simple. Lockie McLean covering the whole court, I think.
He's had an incredible game. He's been served very hard. He's gotten some incredible digs. Commentator's curse still a thing.
Yeah, can't get that one when you rocket it that sharp.
Kanwar Singh really does have a heavy swing.
You can do everything right as a defender, and
Still,
when a hitter like that comes up against you, it's not enough.
There's just really nothing you can do in that situation. Hope that your blocker is in front of him. It's probably the go. So as we spoke about, Canberra Heat just struggling to maintain control over the heat that the Vipers can produce on the service line.
Manjot Singh just beaten as a blocker. Pretty hard, heavy arm there.
Some
bit of
sweat on the
moisture.
court.
Just keep that sweat off the ball, or Darcy Cox will have a nightmare.
Yeah, Alan's had a really good game since he came on in middle of the first set, and he's kept his place on court the whole time. He's passed well, he's served pretty well, and he's scored well out of system, I thought. See what he can bring from the service line after this short break. Sometimes the time delays can work in your favour, and sometimes they can't. Josh Cowan just showing that he can also pass. It's a great high off the hand swing. That's an incredible angle, an incredible set from Damien Whitburn, an incredible swing from Paul Sanderson. Again, Vipers putting themselves in position to get one-on-ones of the sticks pretty regularly.
Canberra Heat will be looking to push them a little bit more out of system than what they've been able to do this set. It's still within reach. Only 1 point at the moment, so they can find a way. We see the double sub we've been starting to see.
Don't see it too often.
Charlie Beard being used as an opposite.
Yeah, a bit of a change it up.
His attacking has been flawless, you may say. So why not just let him do that?
Yeah.
Make it his one and only job. Well, and a little bit of blocking, hopefully, too.
Couple of missed serves here. All right, let's see if the Canberra Heat can capitalise on Damien Whitburn's serve. Not the most aggressive serve on the Vipers, but still can place it in a narrow seam that can cause some confusion.
High hands there from James Kay.
James Kay, Dylan Lucchesi, teammates, play for the Monash University. They know how to block together.
And Dylan Lucchesi, the State League best blocker, so
He
got
knows how
that
to block.
award for a reason.
That's true.
Maybe James Kay didn't get it because Dylan Lucchesi did, and they're next to each other now. So very tough matchup to come up against. And again.
I'm sure James Kay potentially saying to Dylan then and there, like, maybe I should have got that award, mate. Yeah, it's a tough challenge. Where do you set right now the Vipers' front court? Is Paul Sanderson, James Kay, and Dylan Lucchesi, 3 very, very good and big blockers. And the middle of the court is probably your best bet when you can pass like that and when you can create that situation where there's one-on-one, where you create that situation where Dylan Lucchesi can't get out to the stick to help out.
Yeah, when Rex Merriweather's been on time and used, he's been very effective. Like, that's a nice little crafty swing around a block. Good contact point that he's done to beat him. They'll be looking to try and find him that a little bit more. We're getting towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
Get a little bit more.
Melbourne Vipers using their final power play right at this moment. There he is again. Oh, it's unfortunate. Potentially that set a little bit low. That pass a little bit tight instead of having to run in and potentially was a little bit late. Vipers doing well to create a out-of-system attack because Damo went to the other side of the net having to set that ball. Good work, Manjot, thinking ahead, coming in, setting that ball. Paul Sanderson back to serve. Probably the exact server you want when you've got the power play.
Slowed down by the top of the tape. Darcy Cox is so fast.
As we said earlier, it's rare you beat him with tipping.
And a great high swing from James Kay. Darcy Cox getting a great bump set out there in that defensive play. Lots of movement. And the Vipers, no matter where they're moving, they seem comfortable. They've been very effective on their negative passing environment to just still find attackers that can swing from high points. It's probably a big focus for them throughout the season. And Sanderson gets an ace to round out that power play.
Yeah. So that's, again, 2 out of 3.
All 3. That was all 3, I believe.
All 3 of their power plays. Sorry. 2 of their 3 power plays this match, they have won all 3 points in that power play. That's a tremendous effort. Josh Cowan, coach of the Melbourne Vipers, really knows when he's going to call those power plays. Plans ahead, make sure he's in the best possible rotation to use them.
Canberra Heat calling the power play. I don't think it caused Sando to take anything off that. Just goes long.
Do we see Canberra Heat win all 3 of these and put themselves in a position to maybe steal this last set?
Rex Merriweather drawing that overpass from Darcy and just clean, crisp at the net to finish that.
Nothing fancy. Put it in a tough spot. Make the other players play.
Hunter has that backcourt set up. Can't attack that ball. Can't do much with it. Has to standing, just put his hands up.
Manjot just being rock solid, hitting it off the hands, creating that instant point. This brings up match point for the Melbourne Vipers with the one and only Dylan Lucchesi back to serve.
Just wide, beats that outside to the ball, goes into the stick. That wraps up this game. 18-11 in the 5th.
A really solid performance from the Vipers and a really impressive performance from the Super Heat. After going down 0-5 last week to New South Wales, they'll be happy they took the set. They're a very young developmental squad. I think after watching last week's game and watching today's game, they've really cleaned it up. They've worked on their out-of-system ball. They've worked on engaging the middle. We saw moments where they passed the ball really well and they ran through the middle of the court and they were really dominant. And we saw moments where they had answers for the Melbourne Vipers serve.
So we'll see them wrapping up, shaking hands, lots of support. The women's team's out on court. They'll be next up for that match. The Canberra Heat last week finished unluckily losing 3-2. They'll be out here for their warm-up, getting prepped. The Melbourne Vipers women high-fiving all those men. They'll be very glad with how they performed today. Really probably took notes on what went wrong last week in their 1-point loss to Queensland Pirates, and they worked on it all, I think. I think it looked a lot better. Yeah,
looked very clean. They cleaned it up. A very dominant performance from the Vipers. And the women will be looking to continue that success after their 3-2 victory over the Queensland Pirates last week. They did win that game 3-1, Queensland stealing the extra championship points in the 5th set.
They will look to build on that form. Last week they attacked so efficiently. They attacked at 41% efficiency. They ran a lot of balls probably through the sticks, but Eliza Cully-Hines was very effective there. Also just being an absolute demon on serve.
Yeah. Incredible serving performance that we saw.
10 aces.
And 32 attempts.
Yes.
When you serve the ball that many times, even if they're not aces, you know you're putting pressure on the other team. Can't wait to see her in action coming up in a bit.
Another person to watch in this women's Vipers team that helps keep those serves runs going, Katie Tipping. Volleyroo, back with the Vipers, has had a tremendous game. Oh, sorry, she's missing today.
She's actually not playing today.
I had that down. She kept those service runs going last week, getting 3 blocks, really being a presence in the net. I meant to say, who's going to step into that role?
Who's going to step into her shoes? I imagine the Vipers being a very deep team, they'll have someone in mind.
Yeah, they'll have their opposites. Someone else will come in. They'll just be looking to be another block presence as we see them begin to warm up. We've got a few of the Canberra Super Heat to keep your eyes out on. Marley Towers, Libero for the Canberra Heat, was team of the week last week. Had a tremendous game on the defensive side. Just really helped them get so many breakpoint opportunities, moving, covering that whole court on service side around that block. teams are looking good. The Melbourne Vipers won last week in the round one, winning 3-2 versus the Heat. The Canberra Heat unfortunately lost round one in a close nail biter, 3-2 as well. These games are high intensity, high energy for longer. It's been a great league. How have you found it so far, this new format?
Yes.
Mitch, I haven't introduced ourselves actually
No,
for the
you
second
haven't.
stream. I'm Alex Bly from Net Talk. My co-host today is Mitchell Broome,
Also from Net Talk.
also from Net Talk.
We're
How have
excited.
you found this new format?
Yeah, well, it's super exciting. It's quicker. It's more explosive. It puts teams under pressure. It causes uniqueness in the league to be able to see how teams adapt and play with the power play. And I'm excited to see how these two teams battle it out and how these teams respond to each other. All right, up first is Emma Lynn from the baseline for the Melbourne Vipers.
Great touch from Lou Bates, and Roshi with the nice dig set outside to Carly Hines. Great strong arm. Incredible long rally already to go. Gwen Thornton on the right side finds that block straight up and down. Unfortunate, unlucky cover. We've got a few plays to watch. Gwen Thornton as the opposite this game. It's a bit of a change-up. They had an absolute star last week in Katie Tipping, who's missing in action this week, unavailable.
Gwen will have some big shoes to fill, which I'm sure she is more than capable of doing. We saw her in our local league. She's an incredible player, brings a lot to the attack. Well done for the Canberra Heat for thinking on their feet and providing a nice short tip to stump the Vipers. Not going to work too often against Rochelle Simpson, as she is an incredibly dynamic and very proactive libero.
We see Jaya Burkett, one of the Canberra Heat middles, who will be looking to have a big impact this week. Go back to serve. Just long. Bit too much heat on that to open this game for herself. Great tracking to the line. We rotate to the other side. Arwen Verdnick here with her first serve of the match.
Debut for this season. Didn't see her much last week. Another great tip.
Tremendous work from that. From the pass through to the set to the attack. Just actually looked real fluid from the get-go. This team, the Canberra Heat, has a lot of national experience, actually. A lot of these girls coming from all over the country, played in teams, all have lots of experience. It's just gelling together now, isn't it?
Yeah, it really just comes together. They got a good mix of more experience and some younger, more developmental players. They're looking to gel together as quickly as they can. Kimberly Vogel back to serve. Quite an experienced player in this team. She's been playing this team for a number of years.
Oh, tremendous save to keep that going. And a tip.
Rarely going to beat Rochelle on a tip. That ball looking like it was off the hands, but it was actually off the hands through the net tape, which doesn't count as a block, so going out to the side. Unlucky. Vipers probably just need to pass this serve a little bit better, get the middles engaged, or play aggressive out of system.
Perfect pass from Rochelle. Oh, and Gwen just playing off that outside hand and out. That's just what they'll be doing at the stick all day, I think, when you have a passer like Roshi in that lineup, in that passing line. Just everything's going to be positive.
Yeah, she's not a player you want to serve.
Canberra Heat will be keeping that ball away from her like she's a spike. The defensive movement.
That's a great.
Oh,
great
absurd.
player. As I said, Rochelle Simpson is not a player you want to tip. She's not a player you want to serve. She just gets it all.
That side of the court is lava. Keep it away.
Canberra Heat probably going to be working a bit harder to hit and tip the ball towards one and put the Melbourne Vipers out of system rather than going right to Roshi. See that? We see it already. Put the ball to one, puts them under a bit more pressure.
A great up from Mei Lin. And Lou Bass throws that over on two. Just takes great control of that. Has all her options available to her. Decides, I'll finish that point myself.
Yeah. she'd had enough of the rally, decided it's time for me to win this point.
A bit of a miss hit. They'll capitalise on that. Oh, that back A just thrown long, out through one. Unfortunate, but
both teams are seemingly trying to establish the fact that they can run back A's really early on, potentially trying to shift the block over that front court setter and spread out the blocking formation a bit more.
Oh, great backwards tip over the net there. Running that back A again.
Great defensive up by Emma Lim. And a great finish by Carly Hines. That is a player I suspect we'll be talking about quite a lot this match.
Last week, she had an absolute belter on the service. We're seeing her go back behind that baseline. We'll see the damage she can do again. Last week, she got 10 aces.
Let's not talk about too much. We don't want to bring back the commentator's curse. Let's see what she can deliver first serve of the match.
I'm cursing it. It's going to be an ace. No!
Commentator's curse still alive and healthy.
Oh,
Thank you, Alex. So last week we saw her go back and rip 10 aces for 32 total serves. And if you're serving that much in this short form, you are really putting teams under pressure.
Oh, tremendous turn and burn. Picked up and returned even harder.
Yeah. Carly Hines again from the backcourt.
Number 4, Melbourne Kleinman, third, taking into the game.
Olivia Mauhofer back to serve. Let's see if she can put some pressure onto the Canberra Superheat.
Well, does some serious work with that. Maybe Chelsea Gerrich just needs to push that set just that little bit wider.
Holly Uren doing a really good job finding a gap right in between the blocker and that deep position one player. Something potentially the Canberra Heat have found in a scouting report is they are tipping a lot, and it seems to be working for them for now.
Oh, takes that ball. Maybe would have gone long, but can they still capitalise? The point still goes.
Gwen Thornton, normally a pass hitter for a club, potentially just wanted to pass that ball, even though right now she's playing opposite.
Wants the stat. Wants the stat.
It was quite a decent pass. Chelsea Donbridge doing really well from the baseline to put some pressure on the Melbourne Vipers. Again, I wonder if potentially Canberra Heat have either found something by serving Roshi, maybe some tendency of the Vipers, or they're just trying to see if she breaks early on in the serve set, see if they can maybe find a weakness there, maybe not, because they do seem to be serving her quite a bit.
I'd be scared of that, personally.
I personally would be as well. It's a great block by Gwen and Arwen, joining forces, providing a really good, clean double block out there on the stick, blocking Kimberly Vogel, who's had a good start to the match.
Got Louise Bates back there to serve. Takes care of it enough. And Canberra activates their middle. That's good. That's probably their focus as well. Get that middle in early. Both teams will be looking to probably find that a little bit more than what we could see last week.
That was a common theme among the round one games we saw last week, is teams that could activate the middle were often the teams that could win. Again, opting to serve for Rochelle.
And Kiani Dodd with an absolute monster block. That's a name we haven't had to say yet, I don't think, but she was an absolute monster last week, earning a positive 10 points for her team.
That's a tremendous result.
She had 9 kills, 2 blocks, 2 aces. So just had an absurd game last week.
Another name to look out for. So it'll be interesting to see how this shapes out. Canberra Heat seem like they really are going after Rochelle. And I wonder what that instruction has been, and I wonder what they think the tendency is. I'd be curious to know if that works out in their favour.
They're even at the moment with a good bit of pressure. They'll be looking to refine that. Sue Jenkins, head coach for the Canberra Superheat, will just be sticking by her game plan and getting her girls invested in it.
Bit of confusion there. I wonder if neither of the Melbourne Vipers players went for that ball because they thought it was outside the stick, but I believe it just hit the tape and dribbled over.
We see Carl Lim signalling for a power play. First one of this game.
First power play of the game. Probably looking to see if this puts a bit more pressure on the ability for the Canberra Heat to serve hard. Bit of a loopier serve. Oh, still puts them under pressure.
And Eliza Carly-Hines belts that ball through the block to get them that double points. So we have also seen in the women's side the team using a power play is often behind. So Melbourne Vipers were down by 1 point using that power play. Why is it you think that the teams are using them from behind in this middle of the set portion?
I think it allows you to take some risks. That's a great swing to the middle there.
Yeah, Jai Burkett.
It allows you to take some risks early on in the game, potentially get some things wrong, and still use that power play to put yourself in an advantageous position. It means you're not punished by taking risks early on, I think. It also gives you a bit of context. Eliza Carly-Hines just showing that she can just go out there and get it done out of system and really be that reliable, solid player for the Vipers. But it just goes to show that you also can't use a power play once your team gets to 12 points. So more often than not, if the other team gets to 12 points, you're sort of in a position where you potentially should use it for that set to catch up. And the other team can't call it in response, which is something we occasionally see.
Louise Bates taking control of it again.
Yeah.
Saying, I am going to win this point.
Louise Bates, 2 for 2. Set a dump at the moment. Middle just getting caught on that ball and potentially holding it a little bit too long. Kyle Haydock doing a great job on the top stand there, declaring that is too long, and he's calling the lift.
So, and they've really flipped this game on its head since that power play. So good coaching from Carl Lim, good timing. He knows when his girls are in good rotations, and they've been so effective, so efficient to capitalise on those big points.
And it really just means you just need to pick your moments. You know, Vipers potentially having a bit of a slow start to the set, but they picked their moments, called their power play, and now they're in a really advantageous position, being 16-12 up.
And really letting Gwen Thornton just have a bit of freedom from behind that baseline. She's putting some heat behind these floats. They're flat. They're forcing this Canberra Heat team out of system. As she gets an ace. No commentators curse for that one. She just drops that inside, inner seam, short. I don't know if you could move to that fast enough.
I don't know. Gwen Thornton proving that she can fill the big shoes of Katie Tipping.
We see Amanda Uren substituting on, just changing that passing line up a little bit while the Vipers do a bit of a double sub just to maybe reinforce that front court to finish off this set. They are on set point.
Changing up the setter, changing up the... This is an interesting play. We normally see 6-2 go setter for opposite for setter, but we've actually seen setter for pass hitter. And... Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Because
Gwen Thornton was the opposite, but she is a pass hitter by trade, so she just slotted into 6.
It's true.
Covered that ball. Unfortunately, it went long for the Canberra Heat, but no doubt she would have picked that up. So the Vipers are a very versatile team.
Yeah.
You will see this all game. All these girls play multiple positions at their own club. They're all great at every position.
Carl Lim getting to flex his coaching brain there and go, oh, we'll do a 6-2. We'll tweak it a little bit. We'll put ourselves in a good position. And... as I said, the Vipers picked their moments. They had a bit of a slow start to the set, picked the right moment for a power play, and then took off, and they were uncatchable after that.
He has prepared his team well for this game, no doubt. Run them through their potential roles for this Super League game, this Mahindra Australian Volleyball Super League game, sponsored by Mahindra Australia, the proud new naming partner for the Super League. Mahindra has been making SUVs for over 75 years and offer a range of family vehicles, including the 7-seat XUV 7 and the Go Anywhere 4-wheel drive Scorpio, which recently set a new Guinness World Record for the fastest crossing of the Simpson Desert. That's fast.
That is fast.
Probably a tough drive too.
I don't know if I'd personally would like to drive through a desert. It seems a bit hot for me.
Someone else can do it for the record, but I would not be wanting to spend that time out there. I love the sand when it's beach volleyball.
I don't. I very much prefer the cooler Melbourne weather when we are in winter, but I guess that's personal preference.
You're a Queenslander. You should love a bit of the humidity.
I moved for a reason.
Yeah.
Didn't like the weather up there, so I moved down. Canberra Heat looking to clean it up a little bit this set. They actually had a good start to the set, I thought. I thought they just, when they were under pressure, they weren't able to produce potentially the greatest decision-making. A couple of times tipping in front of Rochelle Simpson. That's not a play you potentially want to tip under. They also opted to serve for her more often than not. I think they should put a little bit more pressure on their serves, not necessarily by serving harder, but putting more pressure on Eliza Carly-Hines potentially. If Vipers are going to rely on her to do a lot of the hitting, I think Canberra should maybe capitalise on that and make Vipers rely on her to do a lot of the passing as well. Often we see in international competition that bigger players get big load, and teams will go, how much can you handle even more load if we put more pressure on you? Look, Eliza Carly-Hines is a great player. She has a lot of experience under her belt. I reckon she could. So maybe they go after her, maybe they go after Emma Lim. We'll see what happens now.
They'll be aiming to stop those runs this format. No timeouts.
No timeouts.
That is probably where that second half of that set got away from them. They'll be hoping to open fast now with a nice strong serve coming from Chelsea just to really get them started off well.
It's a great pass.
Oh,
it's a great slide
run. And a great outside attack. That's tremendous work to keep in that point after such a perfect run from the Vipers, and then just really having all your players in the right defensive positions. It goes right most of the time.
I love it, and I'll talk about it all the time. Teams that can be aggressive out of system are teams that will do well. And Canberra Heat did a great job defending that ball and then attacking back.
Great defensive play again.
Now, we spoke about this on our podcast, and I'll speak about it now. It's a very common, at the international level, women's combo. It's where the middle runs a slide and the front court pass hitter comes in and runs a meter ball. Very effective, very hard to block. And we just saw it in great success then for the Melbourne Vipers. An unfortunate ball handling error there from the Canberra Heat. Not too many of those you'll see. Carl Hayduck doing a good job, keeping the game at a good standard. But occasionally we do see them set through, like our good friend Darcy Cox last week, unfortunately. Bit of a sweaty stadium.
No sweat out here today. It's a cool
Melbourne weather.
And Dandenong. Oh, great defensive effort from Keani Dodd to still make that work.
Gwen and Arwen joining forces again, proving that they are a couple of the shorter players out there, but they can get up there and they can do a good double block.
They're threatening up at that net.
They really are.
I'm scared.
Shout out to our ball kids and wipers that keep this court clean and dry. It's very dangerous for the athletes when the court gets wet and there's hazards.
Great service pressure there. Just forces that pass. Can't do much with it to lift that. It was so flat crossing over that net.
It was a hard, flat serve, and we don't see them too often when they're standing, but Emma Lim taking quite a good distance back from the baseline to allow the ball to travel to the net and have quite a bit of movement on the ball by the time it gets to the passer.
Gets another.
And we see it again. It's a bit of an old school tactic, the old serve from as far back as you can, stand on the ground and float the ball. In these colder stadiums, the ball can really move around a lot once it passes the plane of the net, especially if you get it close to the plane of the net. It can really cause issues for the passing unit.
That's all you need there. Keani Dodd just helping get that positive pass for Chelsea Durbridge to be able to run that middle. And Jai Burkett able to just take enough care of it, redirect that ball towards one. Everyone's maybe a little bit out of system on that Vipers side. Just gets that ball to the ground. Great pass from Emma Lim, and they return their middle.
Oh,
gets a touch. No call.
No touch.
No
from
touch.
That one. Not a bad run.
Things.
Yeah.
Good decision making. Good distribution. Like that's the time to really retaliate with your own middles.
And you've got a couple of point buffer. Not a bad time to run it. Potentially just a little bit low or a little bit mistimed. It's a great dig. Great out of system set. Maybe a bit tight.
Good adjustment to still get that contact point on. Oh, and a double called. Happens. Just got away from her.
Again, we mentioned on the podcast, maybe middles should let their setters set.
No.
And then we saw it just then.
Middles are setters. Let it happen.
Sometimes it can be tough to navigate that 3-metre section at the net when the ball is tight. There's lots of different movement.
And a communication error. It's a tough part of volleyball.
It really
Everyone wants to be the person to get the ball, but all these women are just two supportive teammates. They're just letting someone else just do it too because everyone's so good.
It's a great tip there from Emma Lim, showing that you don't have to hit the ball every time. We saw a lot of tips set one. Haven't seen quite as many this set. Vipers really taking the lead with this service pressure, really going after it, and they're being rewarded.
They'll be needing to step up their communication here, refocus, recenter as a passing unit. They've been passing pretty well, very positive over the first set. They'll just be looking to re-find that.
Ooh.
Great soft touch from Carly Hines to just beat the edge of the blocker. And Canberra Heat returns it with even more heat.
Oh, great chase by Emma Lim in the backcourt there. Nice defense.
Oh, and a tremendous block from Kayla Cantrell. Takes that ball, sees where it's going. Eliza Carly Hines isn't going to beat that block twice.
I think that's the first time I've seen her get blocked, I dare say.
Bound to happen, and it was a good one.
It was a good one. Great work from her to see that she was going to swing on two and just provide a good solid block right there at the net.
Jay Burkett back to serve. Emma Lim with a good pass. Nice and perfect. Bit of a combo
Another
play.
combo in the middle. Nice.
Maybe wasn't as clean or effective as they would have liked. Looked like they got a little bit tangled amongst each other. But Canberra Heat wasn't able to return the heat.
They are doing well to get digs. They're doing well to get touches. They just got to clean up the outer system attack. They've just got to find the court or find some pressure. A little bit wide there. But as we spoke about it earlier, with the Melbourne Vipers running combos, it does have a high potential risk. When the pass isn't quite there, it can cause a lot of confusion. And Gwen Thornton back to serve now. She caused a lot of damage the first time she went round. See if she can do it again. She's off to a good start.
Force that setter off the net.
Canberra Heat women just having a little chat here. This is something we see when there's no timeouts. The players have to take control of the game and they have to talk amongst each other as a team and provide those moments where they potentially make changes, they adapt, they talk about things that need to happen because the coach can't intervene as much when there's no timeouts or anything. Another drop shot from Eliza Carly Hines.
She's just got so much versatility in her bag. She can pull out whatever she wants, whatever the situation demands for, and that's what it's been demanding.
For a player who sort of proves from the baseline that you need to hit the ball really hard, in front court, it seems to be the opposite. You don't have to hit the ball very hard, and I really appreciate that about her game.
Gwen Thornton with another ace. Her stat sheet will be looking
Been on fire.
quite nice.
She's looking to keep that opposite spot, I dare say.
Oh, tremendous pass from Maylin. And they activate Chloe Walker through the middle, and she just powers that ball through defenders.
So it's night and day. As soon as Canberra Heat get a really good pass, they side out instantly, which is pretty substandard for most teams. But they've just got to do a little bit more once they get that dig and once they get that out-of-system ball to put pressure back on the Vipers, whether it's tipping or off blocks or whatever it may be.
There's a hard-driven ball from the stick. You were waiting to see from
I was waiting to
Carly
see it.
Hines, and that's... So she can do whatever.
I actually thought Louise Bates was going to dump that ball. It was quite tight to the net, and I was wondering if we were going to see 3 from 3.
Here we go. Here we see a straight 6-2, setter for opposite.
Yeah.
Opposite for setter.
Traditional double sub. Liana coming on for Gwen, and Alyssa coming on for Louise.
I didn't jinx it that time.
No, yeah, I was hoping you were going to stay quiet, and you did.
I was thinking about it because that wasn't as hard as we've seen her usually serve, but just had so much control to make that ball move through the air that it's a nightmare to pass.
I think she knew, like, all right, I've missed my first serve first time around. I don't get many opportunities to serve, so I'll put the first one in and then potentially ramp it up, which she does there. But the Canberra Heat do a good job of passing that ball, engage in the middle.
Oh, great. Great transition off the net to pick that ball up.
Nice, good work.
Good move from Emma Lim.
Oh,
and a tremendous block from Chelsea Durbridge, I think, gets that one on the stat sheet. That point was captivating. The defensive movements.
I think just about everyone got set on both teams.
Yeah, the transitions off the net, both teams. I think everyone got a stat that point. See Kiani Dodd back to serve.
Can she put the Vipers under a bit more pressure? She can. They can't run the middle. They can run the middle of the pipe, though.
And takes care of it again.
Eliza Carly-Hines knows when to power the ball and when to not power the ball. Alex, I wonder, does she opt to go for a less powerful ball sometimes because she does have to put power the ball from the baseline? She's potentially saving that shoulder.
Don't know if everyone has that problem. I think
I certainly do.
Got enough resilience to handle it.
It's a great pass. Here we go.
Oh, just sneaks that through the block. Maybe Eliza just brought those hands off that net a little bit. Snuck that ball down. But very, very effective uses at the stick.
So showing again that pass, really good. Delaying the middle, opening up opportunity to take advantage of the delayed middle block. Fortunately not following up with the serve. But again, you've got to put pressure on your serve. You've got to go after it. You've got to risk.
At this level, go for the risk. Really enforce it. We see Alana Hassel coming on for Emma Lim. Another not straight sub. Alana Hassel typically a middle, so we'll see.
This is probably a blocking sub.
Yeah, just to help really enforce this towards the end of this set. Oh, Kiana Dodd. A tremendous attack from the backcourt. Bit off the 3 metre line. Still finds a way to find that sharp angle.
A really good out-of-system swing. A way to find a very, very small, tight spot on the court.
Here we see a couple subs back, a double sub, and then also Alana Hassel.
Is this a triple sub?
Yeah, triple sub. Double sub in the middle swap. So Alana didn't get to influence the game through her block, but it was probably a scary sight to see.
Yeah. She's a very good large blocker. Traditionally plays middle.
Great pass. Oh, Gwen Thornton.
Gwen's been on fire this game. Absolutely unreal this game.
That angle.
That was incredible. We're a long way from the court, but dare say inside the attack line. This is set point for the Melbourne Vipers now. Nice. It's a great high swing off the hands from Carla. Again, proving that you don't have to pass well every time. You just need to pass it so we can get an attack up and then run the middle through transition or at a later stage of the rally.
See how effective you can be on those negative passes. That out-of-system work that so many teams focus on in the modern game. Just unlucky to try and run that middle when unable to find that baseline. It was pretty darn close.
It was very close. Unfortunate. Melbourne Vipers passing incredibly at the moment.
They don't need to worry about being out of system.
No, it's not even a conversation. Another one. They can run the middle.
Close pass. Why run the middle when you've got someone like Gwen?
Who you can just set every time and just kills the ball. So reliable out there. Melbourne Vipers take the set. 18-11. in a very dominating performance. The only real difference right now between these two teams is the passing, the first pass. I think if Canberra Heat can clean up their passing a little bit on that first touch, they can really bite back and they can catch up and they can make it a bit more competitive in the later stages of the set.
We've got another little statement here from a partner of Volleyball Victoria, the Uncloud campaign, because vaping is on the rise in Australia over the past few years, and a range of public health responses have emerged to tackle this complex issue in multiple ways. The Uncloud campaign is one of them. With more and more young people vaping every year, Uncloud creates a space to hear from peers, to share their experiences, thoughts and feelings, and to have a voice. Uncloud is a hub to find peer-reviewed, scientifically backed information about vapes and see vaping for what it is. But more importantly, it's a platform for young Australians to warn each other of the horrors of vaping. Here, they can write the warning labels that were never given, the warnings vapes never came with, and to build an understanding and spark conversations about the impacts of vaping, showing that one of the best ways to get to young people is through to young people and change behaviour is through other young people. You can visit Uncloud to learn more and see about vaping, what it is, the damages, the health concerns and the risks, and create your own warning label to help warn others about the harms of vaping.
All right, so the teams have now switched sides. We only switched sides in between the second and third set in the MAVSL. If you're the Canberra Heat right now, Alex, what are you focused on moving into the set? 2 sets down, maybe a little bit of a slow start. What are you thinking?
Game's not done. There's still championship points on the table, if not the whole match. So maybe a little bit more leadership from Mei Lin just to take a little bit more of that pass. She's been very positive in her reception. Mm-hmm. So just really refocus and centre on that service reception. There are some scary servers on that Vipers side, so it's a tough ask. But that's just all they'll need to find is a way to get those passes back positive in front of that 3 metre line, allow Chelsea Durbridge to start using her attackers again. They've been very effective in the middle when they have. They've been very effective at the stick when those balls have been able to get that width and that depth from the net. They'll be looking to do a lot more. Anything you would change or what you're seeing from up here in the commentary box?
Yeah, I think you pretty much nailed it. I think they need to be a little bit okay with not the greatest passing. I think some of the best things I've ever heard from international coaches is pick and choose when you want to focus on passing the ball well. When there's a very, very good hard server across the net from you, be okay with a less than amazing pass. And then when there's a bit of an easier server, then we can focus on, all right, now we're going to pass this ball well. And just making sure when you prioritise when you want to be okay with good passing, bad passing, and other things like that.
Great serving so far from Emma Lim to open up this third set, sorry. And influencing the game through it. An absolute belter of a pipe. Just catches that blocker's hands on the way up. Good effort to wait as a blocker, not get drawn to the stick and give them complete open net, but just a hard one to time.
Emma just capitalising, then going high off fingers and goes well into where the camera zones are.
Oh,
great.
Dodd taking care of that one.
Great work from the setter to get high, get to that ball before it goes over the net, cut it off before you get called for the reach, set the player. And then another tip.
They're doing good use with this ball. They're taking care of it. That's bettering the ball. Not need to do too much.
Absolutely.
Just really take focus, be accountable, be effective and efficient. Oh, Arwen finding that bit of a slide. We saw Nick Boson run him a couple of times in the last game. Now the girls are showing him how it's really done. With Arwen just running that slide, hitting it back towards one, finding the inside arm of the block and a nice sharp swing.
Quite a hard thing to do as a middle. You really have to be efficient with your feet. Get there early, turn your hips back towards the court and hit that ball as hard as you can. Great work from the Canberra Heat there, passing the ball well, getting the middle engaged. Chloe Walker's been a little bit silenced by the serving from the Vipers, but she's back engaged now. They've done a good job passing that ball.
When she's been there, she's been loud.
She's been
getting
really
some
good.
Big points when it's mattered. They'll be just looking to get her more of those big points. just a bit of a misconnection.
So we see now, even at this level, slides are a difficult play to run. If that pass is quick and you're in the middle, Liv right now in position 4, that's a long way to go all the way to position 2.
And try and get your right shoulder onto it. She's a fast middle. It's a tough ask. Oh, and Eliza Carly-Hines showing, just get it high to the outside and let me work. There's a hard swing again. We'll see more of those over the rest of this game, I think.
We definitely will. Something to note too is Louise Bates doing a great job distributing the ball to all the players in the Vipers, but when she needs a point, she has a couple of reliable players up her sleeve she can just give a high ball to. They go and get the job done, and then she can go back to keeping everyone engaged and warm.
We see a double sub on the Canberra Heat side. Annie Reeson, new setter for them. See if she can change anything, and she finds Keani Dodd with a nice set.
Instantly one-on-one opportunity.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that coaches will try and do when they feel like their hitters aren't being super effective. It potentially put a new setter on the court, give them a different look, give the blockers of the other team something different to have to think about and work on.
Fresh eyes, fresh hands. Just ready to make some distribution.
It's a great pass by Rochelle.
Great block touch and cover. Oh, just falls into the net. Tough, those high-pressure situations. Sometimes you just lose your feet from underneath yourself. It's so hard, and it's such a tough feeling to know. You feel it happen right before it happens.
And potentially, when you're looking at the setter in front of you, go for that 2 ball. Maybe you don't have your feet super set because you're not expecting the setter to be the one that's attacking the ball. Canberra Heat calling their first power play this set, or their only power play this set. You only get one a set.
First power play of the game for them. So
there you go.
And it's worked. They must have seen something.
Look, we said it on our podcast. Eliza Carly-Hines is not someone you potentially want to call a power play on. But if you do call that power play, you do add to her pressure of that she has to put the ball in. And they've done that well. They've been rewarded by 2 points. Let's see how they go with the other 2 power plays.
Oh, great work from Jaya Burkett. Just great from the transition. You can see it. You can see it happening. She gets back. She's nice, open on her transition. Up, presents for the setter. It's so easy for Annie Reeson to just find her and finish that point through the middle.
Yeah, Annie doing a great job coming onto the court, giving the Vipers something more to think about from a blocking point of view.
That was a great serve from Chloe Walker. Then just unlucky on the defensive touch, but I think that was 2 out of their 3 power play points.
Yeah, that's pretty good. They'll be happy with that.
You come out well and truly ahead. You get 4 points to your opposition's 1. I'd be pretty happy with that.
And it's 8-6. They're up, and they don't have to deal with Eliza's serve for a little bit now. I say that, and Liv instantly scores an ace.
A little bit of miscommunication. Yeah. It's always tough when you might not play next to these girls all year, and then we're only in round 2. These teams are getting better and better every week, so miscommunication will be a thing of the past, no doubt. Won't happen twice.
Nah.
Oh, but Liv Mauhofer showing something different there. Nice cross float. Like, it's so hard to get when it comes from that angle. Just drops that little shorter distance inside, just along that 3-metre line.
Good variation from her. Good to get her to serve the front court pass hitter, make them do 2 actions in 1.
Oh, and then tries to throw it deep. Really making it hard for Canberra Heat to find their rhythm. That one, unfortunately, goes long. But that was a dangerous position. She was really, really going for it.
Kim Vogel back to serve now.
Great serve.
Really good serve.
On that front court pass hitter too. It's hard when you sometimes get drawn into court or a low pass that just drops on the fingers.
And if you can do a good job putting that ball in a good spot, the passer has to take a little bit longer to decide, are they going to use their forearms or are they going to use their hands? Emma Lim caught in a little bit of no man's land there.
Oh, but makes up for it on attack.
We see that a lot. We see that a lot with setters. If a hitter potentially makes an error, the setter goes, all right, get your mind back. I'll give you another ball, give you a chance to get your head back in.
Just a little boost of confidence. I'm still confident in you, so keep going for it.
I'm not too sure why. Lou Bates back to serve. Oh, not missing by much. Not a bad swing.
Yeah, good decision making. I'd go for that roll of the dice. Just see it might earn a point here and there. We see a substitution.
Skippy Holly
Urine
coming back on. Potentially ground this team a little bit more, lead it in. Now that they've put themselves in a position, it's 10-all. Pass just a little bit too tight for Annie to get both feet to. She was there a little bit late, having to try and throw that ball. We're going to see a reversal of the double sub now. This is something we see a lot with coaches. When you can't time out to stop a server, they will try and sub to slow them down and reverse subs or inflict other subs just to try and give the server something more to think about.
and setters when they're on. Annie Reeson was doing such a good job of taking care of that ball while she's on. Just leave her on. There's no need to force her back off the court too early.
But this time, it works out for the Canberra Heat. Holly Uren back to serve now. Melbourne Vipers calling their power play now. They think, well, this is the last chance that either team, one team will get to call their power play. Carl Lim opting for right now, and it works out in his favour. That's 2 points. Again, we see a lot of teams use the power play. Statistically, you are more likely to side out than you are to get a break point, so you may as well use it when you're receiving.
Especially Emmeline's been having such a field day as a server, so I wouldn't be afraid to give her that value. And it pays off. Arwen absolutely smashing that paradise ball off that serve. 2 points.
2 points rewarded. That's 2 out of 3 power plays. The last one coming now.
Really leading him into the end of this set. Put this set to bed. She'll be aiming to get this point. Oh, it does tremendous work. Oh, and they go 3 for 3 on the power plays on the back of some service pressure. That's effective. Great use of it from Carl Lim. Must know. He knows their best blocking lineup.
So now it's set point. You call your power play at 11, you get rewarded all 3 times. Suddenly it's set point. It can go that quickly.
Great move from Roshi to get that ball into court. Louise Bates is taking care of it. Canberra Heat will return a bit more heat. Emma Lim with the defensive touch. Both teams scrambling.
Looking to gain control. Who can gain control earlier? Another tip. Picked up well. It's a great
trusting Kiani Dodd to finally put that point to rest. She was a very effective hitter last week. She's been a very effective hitter so far this game. So they're giving her a little extra trust. Libero Mei Lin just really knowing, even though they're scrambling, they're all out of system. They're all tired, knowing where to put that ball to get that point done.
I think Canberra Heat doing a really good job there to take care of the first touch. Even if it's not perfect, let's put a bit of height on it, give our players time to get there because we are tired. And Arwen taking care of this set for the Vipers, connecting really well with Lou Bates. And that is the match. We will play 2 more sets because there are championship points up for grabs. The Canberra Heat, having come a little bit short last week, they'll be looking to get 2 more sets to put them in a good position on the ladder.
Because the ladder for the Mahindra Australian Volleyball Super League isn't a wins and loss ladder. It is based on championship ranking points. So each set you win is worth 2. So yes, Melbourne Vipers have already earned more than the maximum that Canberra Heat could now earn, but they're still on them. They could push this back to be essentially a draw. Still that bit short, but you could get 2 championship points. There's a bonus point up for grabs if you can win by a certain margin or lose by less than a certain margin of 10 points. Yeah.
So if my math serves me well, Canberra Heat have got some work to do if they want that bonus point. If they want that bonus point, they've got to stay, I believe it's within 10 points. And if the Vipers want the bonus point, they've got to be ahead by 20 total points. So when all the points are counted up at the end of the match, whichever team is ahead, well, the Vipers have won the match, so they will most likely be the team. If they are ahead by more than 20 points, they will get a bonus point. But if the Canberra Heat can be within 10 points and lose the match, they will also, well, only one team will get a bonus point. So it'll be really beneficial for the Canberra Heat if they can stay within 10 total points. They can take these next 2 sets and bounce back and put themselves in a really good position on the ladder to make finals at the end of the season.
Yeah, see how their mentality shifts. Yes, this week is no longer up for grabs, but there's a whole season to go. They're finding it. It's early in the season. It's only round 2. They've still got weeks and weeks to come.
Round 3 just around the corner. Saturday, the 14th of September, 3 p.m, MSAC Arena. Catch the Melbourne Vipers versus the Perth Steel. That will be an incredible match. Perth Steel, men and women, doing really well last year, taking out both golds. And the men's and women's Vipers taking out both bronze. I believe the Vipers will be looking to reverse it. The Perth Steel looking to maintain.
That'll be tremendous. We've seen a great crowd come out to Dandenong Stadium today. MSAC, what a venue as well, though. Central to the city. Primetime games, those games are slightly later in the day.
No footy on next week.
No footy on next week in Melbourne.
No footy in Melbourne. Great excuse to come down to MSAC and have a watch of the greatest volleyball in Australia. All right. And we're underway.
Oh, tremendous
that combo.
combination.
When it looks good, it's hard to stop. How do you stop that when you pass well and you can run combination? You've got to be really quick as a blocking unit to identify the combo, to talk about it, and then to switch plays that you block.
It's a tough ask when you're left on an island as a middle. You're watching your middle, you see the second player come, you just try and get those hands up, but it's tough. Oh, it takes care of it.
Canberra Heat still opting for the tip.
It's working.
It is work. When we see it, it does work. When they put it in the right spot, it really does work.
You've just got to keep those defenders honest. Maybe they take a step back and you can catch them off guard. It's just a really tough ask. Oh, ends it as well. Great work from Jaya Burkett. Sorry, that was actually Chloe Walker in the middle there.
She's had a great match. When they can use her, she looks good.
Yeah. They're keeping defenders honest. And we see Canberra Heat using this power play early in the set.
This is something I've alluded to on the podcast. I would do this if it were me. I'd call it early. As soon as you get rhythm, as soon as you're looking good, take the risk. Put yourselves in that lead.
Oh, and Carly Hines takes care of that ball on the stick.
Carly Hines opting to save her shoulder. Just do the work. Opting for the tip, and it's working out almost every time now. Arwen back to serve.
Good pass from Maylin. And Kiani Dodd.
Oh, it's a great defensive touch. Oh, it's just going to make it. Oh, no.
Oh, just catches the net on the swing.
Kiani Dodd, unfortunately, getting a bit too excited on that ball. It was a very good hit, just following through a little bit too much, taking the net with her.
Just didn't get the height off it out of Annie Reeson's hands.
Not a bad option. Really not a bad option. When you're in that tight position to the net, it's probably the only option you've got. Just unfortunately being a little bit short in that situation there.
They won't be afraid to use it again. I know this team's been very aggressive, so they'll be looking for ways to win points.
Let's see if the Canberra Heat can capitalise on this free ball, and they can.
Owen keeps
that ball is declared down. Yeah, I thought it looked down to me.
Maybe a little bit of hand, but if any part of that ball touches the floorboard,
Call
point
it.
done. And Carl's got his eagle eye watching that one. Has seen it catch the ground.
Yeah.
Chloe Walker back to serve.
That's a great serve. Again, finding that narrow corridor between the passes, that certain little bit of tiny moment of uncertainty, and if you can hit that ball fast enough to allow the passes no chance to communicate, you often capitalise from it. Oh, nice swing from Eliza Carly-Hines.
Louise Bates just getting that dig set high outside. Wasn't perfect, but you don't need to be in volleyball. It's a game of errors, so just make it good enough for your teammates to better it, keep your team in play.
It's a game of bettering the ball. Yeah. Always better the ball. Always do. That's unfortunate from Gwen Thornton. But Chloe Walker's really impressed me this game. She's off at the moment for the Libero, but she has served quite well, often opting to go for Emma Lim and cause her to be in that mindset of, do I forehand pass, do I set? We've seen it a couple times and it's worked out fairly well. Kimberly Vogel, unfortunately, missing that one long. Even though the Canberra Heat have made a couple errors here, I'm enjoying their extra service pressure. It looks better. It looks a bit more aggressive. See if it pays off in the depth of the set, though.
We see Chelsea Durbridge and Kayla Cantrell back on. Just a little change up. Unfortunate for that point. They'll be looking to just reset themselves now. Refocus. Bring each other in.
Eliza Carly-Hines back to serve.
Just a little chit chat with the ref. Hey, how you going?
Maybe potentially trying to give some time to Eliza to think about this serve. She really rips that ball. Canberra Heat do well to fight it off. It's a good recycle ball.
Runs the outer system pipe and used so effectively. We see it a lot in the women's game, that pipe being used as a release ball. That's because they can just do so much damage from back off that net.
They really, we saw it then, more often than not, you're going to get punished if you're the team that can't form a good triple block. And it's not that the Vipers didn't, it's just that they were potentially a little bit late, a little bit slow to move to that particular one.
Maybe expecting that ball to get thrown cross-court to the stick, which is often hard to get.
Great pancake.
Maylin. Good defensive movement and great set of usage. But Rochelle is absurd.
That's a phenomenal dig from Roshi. Unfortunate that potentially that ball was really high. Louise Bates maybe takes a little bit too long to get to the ball, leaning a little bit.
A little bit too much spin put on that from Roshi, you know.
A little bit.
To try and ease off that perfect defensive movement.
I will say that Roshi's been a little bit quiet. Canberra Heat probably doing a good job to try avoid her after the first couple sets. Oh, as I say that, she gets served and nails that ball.
Oh, good defensive movement out there too. Kayla Cantrell recycling.
Another high ball pipe here. Vipers opting for no block.
And Roshi. Roshi's movement in 5 to pick up those balls and put them just high in front of the 3-metre line is absurd.
She is a quick libero, but she does 90% of the work before the hitter hits the ball. Her ability to read.
What is she seeing?
Yeah, I would love to know that. You know, we might ask her that after this.
Yeah, what is she saying that no one else can see?
Unfortunate there for the Canberra Heat. Carl Hayduck, top ref, saying that the ball did touch a player but through the net, which does not count as a touch, therefore 4 touches.
Just didn't get that high enough.
Alana Hassel playing her middle position, giving Liv Malhofer a little bit of a break on the bench. She's done well, done her job for the Vipers, won those 3 sets, and now she's taking a break. That's a great overhand touch from Gwen Thornton to get that ball up in the air, high enough for Louise Bates to set Emma Lim. A great out of system ball, and she just goes to town.
Don't know what Canberra Heat need to find in these moments, because that was a very effective hit from Amanda Uren at the sticks. It's just being returned and returned harder and harder by the Vipers. It's just so hard to find. The Vipers are just doing everything well.
They're just putting so much pressure in all aspects of the match right now. They are serving hard. They are hitting hard. Canberra Heat can do so much work to put the Vipers women out of system, and the Vipers women will just answer back with another attack. It's very difficult to stop this team.
This format is so hard when teams are in this form because the game just goes faster and faster, and it can sometimes get away from you a little bit.
Look.
When defensive touches like this are happening,
Unfortunate. It's a very hard swing. It's very difficult. I can speak from personal experience. When that ball is an overpass and it's that high, it's very hard to time that swing. She'll definitely
you
want
can't
that
punish
one back.
yourself. That's just outrageous work rate from the Vipers. So there's no negative for that. That's just good. Good volleyball.
Instead of opting again to go back to the hitter that made the error. Again, Canberra Heat doing well. Vipers just finding ways to always attack the ball. And that is what's going to reward your team the most. If you can be the team that attacks the ball the most, you'll probably do pretty well. Jaha back to serve now. She's been pretty good on the service line. Let's see who she goes after here.
Catches the net. Oh, but what a touch. Double called. Unfortunate. You put that much effort into a dive, but it's hard. It's hard to get.
Seen quite a few doubles this match.
Happens when the intensity gets this high, the arena this hot. It's just that.
It's quick.
That pressure.
And when you're rushed like that, it can be quick and it can just sort of...
It's hard to give yourself... You have a little bit more time always, but it's hard to tell yourself that.
It's a mental thing, a mental aspect of this format of the game where, again, no timeouts, very quick in between points, not a lot of time to reset yourself. Seen it a couple of times. I didn't mention it earlier, but one of the most difficult things about running backcourt and passing a ball at the same time is occasionally the person who passed the ball or comes in short can get in the way of the pipe. We've seen Rochelle have to come in short, pass the ball, and can sometimes be in the way of the pipe.
The Vipers have been very fluid. Gwen Thornton's playing opposite and was running the pipe, though. So
something we do see.
They are just very fluid, seeing Eliza Cully-Hines shift a little bit further, maybe run that push pipe. Back C borderline in those rotations. Oh, but we see Emma Lim playing hard, fast.
Off the hands again.
Off the hands. When they're up there, why not just use them? Makes it easier.
No, it is arguably a bit more easy than going for the court.
Oh, tremendous work from Chloe Walker.
That's
up
a big
presents.
hit.
Ball's coming out of Chelsea Durbridge's hands, and she's just already there. Makes it easy for a setter when your middle is perfectly on time. You're just up there presenting.
And the pass is perfect. I really want to see... What a great serve. I really want to see Canberra Heat do more of that. Use the middles more. Move them around. Use them a little bit more when the pass maybe not so perfect and they can run that B ball.
Taylor Cantrell going on a little bit of a service run here. Stringing them together well.
Alex, your commentator curse is real strong today.
It's just because I'm calling it for that second, third serve. They're always hard because you always try and step up as a server. First serve, maybe easy, get it in. Second serve, you go for that ace. Third serve, you just got to keep stepping up. It's very hard to serve for that long.
Do Vipers get punished for... Oh, no, they don't. Again, Canberra Heat doing all the work to put Vipers out of system. They didn't handle the free ball pass amazingly, and they still found a way just to attack the ball.
Great backcourt attack from Kayla Cantrell.
That's a great swing.
We saw a lot of back A earlier. Maybe that usage has gone away a little bit, but now they're they're getting back to their passes have all been positive of late.
Yeah, this set they've been passing really well. They've got the opportunity to spread the court across the net a little bit more. And it looks really good when they can do it. There's that combo. There's that combo that's just so hard to stop. Gwen Thornton up there with no block, running the meter ball inside.
Brings set point for this fourth set.
Great swing.
Finding that angle. Kiani Dodd's been ruthless in that cross court. She's found that sharp angle so much just off that inside pinky of that middle.
Yeah.
There's a reason why she was such an effective hitter last week and had such high usage. So
I wonder if they can use her a bit more this set. Canberra Heat be lucky to steal it back, but I hope they can bounce back for the next set. Oh. Rochelle opting to have a swing.
Something you don't see that often.
No.
But she did it well. Forced it to the back corner and then back to the defensive movements.
Oh. I actually thought that ball was up and potentially going to land in the backcourt. Another dig kill. But Eliza Carly-Hines putting this set to bed. 4-0 for the Melbourne Vipers. What do you think about Canberra Heat that set, Alex?
So much improvement. They can't be frustrated with themselves. We see a little extra noise coming from their supporters, from the bench, just telling them to recenter, smile a little bit again, just really refocus. When you're on court in a game like this, there's no timeouts, there's no breaks really until this change of set. A short 2 minutes they'll get to refocus. It feels like everything's going wrong, but there is a lot going right.
Absolutely, and this is a young team. Most of these players are between the ages of 18 and 22. There's a couple of 24, a couple of 23, but for the most part, very, very young. Again, Melbourne Vipers, quite an experienced franchise this year. A couple of older players like Eliza Carly-Hines, Louise Bates.
A couple on screen, our proud sponsors. We've got our new naming rights sponsor, Mahindra, our supporting partner of Scape, Student Living and Hancock Prospecting. Very grateful for that. Macarthur as well for those tremendous balls that we use in every game, and the games which you can catch live on YouTube as you are now and on SBS On Demand. We will promote again next week on the 14th of September at 3 p.m. at MSAC Arena. You can watch the Melbourne Vipers take on the reigning champion Perth Steel. Reigning champion for both genders, male and female, both took out the gold last year. Vipers, male and female, both taking out bronze. So, bit of a battle of the giants. Two finals-made teams that have been in pretty good form so far going into this season.
It'll be a great match. You will catch Alex and I on the broadcast again if you can't make it out to AMSAC. As we enter the fifth and final set, Canberra Heat's last opportunity to potentially steal some championship points and help them out on the ladder.
Melbourne Vipers really pushing for that bonus point that's up for grabs if they can win by a cumulative 20 points total, which they might be on the road to doing. They've won each set by a couple, so...
My math is right, they're almost there, a couple points back potentially. That'll give them an 11-point advantage if they can go 5-0.
Emma Lim opening up the serving again. And Kiani Dodd being an absolute weapon from up high. Just getting that ball back over the net so they can reset, refocus, reuse that middle. JR, just like that's a stat we always think about is Kiani Dodd, doesn't matter that you don't get the kill. You get the other team out of system, get the recycle, and then you can run your options against a arguably weaker team because they're all stressed, they're all chasing, they're all out of system, out of position. Just makes it that little bit easier for your teammates.
And those are the stats that potentially don't get highlighted enough is, yes, you didn't kill the ball, but you put the team out of system and you put your team in a positive position where you can run back fast through the middle, and it looked really good. It looked like Vipers had no solution for that one there. Unfortunately, Eliza Carley-Hines, I think that ball just dropping short for her, and she was just in the wrong spot and having to try and manipulate that ball over the net. It's unfortunate for Jaha, just missing that one into the net.
Owen Verdnick back to serve. Return a little bit of force. And she does so.
It's a great serve.
They're so hard to receive serves like that because you think you make a good movement. Mei Lin looks like she sees it coming and it just drags away from you.
Vipers really have made their identity a tough serving team. And that is
a good identity to have.
A very good identity to have. That's probably the first time, I think, in this match I've seen Canberra Heat run through the middle and get stopped. That shows that when they can do it, for the most part, it looks pretty good. Unfortunately, Alana Hassel showing that she is the best blocker. She won best blocker for her state league this year. She's really showing it off right now.
Owen punishing with these serves, just catching them off. Mei Lin's been very good on reception so far, but maybe just caught off guard a couple of times now that the serve's been changed to her for these last couple of points. She'll be sitting down, refocusing, going through her serve routine, sitting back.
Owen opting to change it up, go for the front court pass sitter this time.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work, but that's okay. Kiani Dodd did a tremendous work on that pass to get that ball across the court, across the middle of the court. 2.5 is what we always say. And Chelsea Durbridge just using her opposite, who's been ruthless. Oh, Carly Hines showing a bit of that experience. Adjusting that transition to be so much faster because it probably just didn't get the height she needed, but great contact point to play that off the outside hand.
And that's the thing that Canberra Heat need to be aware of, is if you're going to serve Eliza, you probably need to be aware that she will be late to the ball because she has to do those two actions. So you've got to set up that block a little bit more stable, a little bit more solid, so that she can't just wipe off or roll shot over you. And that's a really good look from the middle to wait high in the air from Chloe Walker to go nice and high in the air and not reach into enemy space and get called for that reach, which we see occasionally.
She kept it nice and simple, didn't go blazing because there's just too many ways that can go wrong. Net touch, send a ball to the back wall, but she took care of that, sent it straight down. No defenders can get that ever. Great, kept it in play. Eliza Carley-Hines going through one of the banners a little bit. Oh, but does enough to force Canberra Heat into not perfect position, and they just can't return the heat.
No, they can't.
Carley-Hines going to serve. Scary sight, this Canberra Heat.
They'll be looking to just get this ball high and side out straight away. That's a good start.
Good ball, still usable. Great movement around each other, but
they've got to attack here. There we go.
Great work from Kayla Cantrell and great blocking.
It's a great read from the Canberra Heat defence.
Just wide. Kayla Cantrell, I thought that was open. I thought that was going to be a big swing deep down the line. Looks like it's just missed, but our...
Just over-rotating slightly there and putting it out the side. Canberra Heat showing all the signs that they can do it, but just shy right at the finish line. Ooh, that was really close to the baseline. Canberra Heat pretty happy with that result, I reckon.
I'd be scared leaving that one. That from up here, that felt real close.
I think about 6 out of her 10 serves last week tagged the baseline.
Oh, tremendous block.
Tremendous block. Huge.
Chelsea Durbridge going up with Jaya Burkett together.
Props for Roshi for getting a touch to that. It's very hard to get a recyclable cover from a block that goes straight down.
We see the power play coming out for Canberra Heat.
We've got a power play in action.
On Chloe Walker's serve, I dare say she's probably been one of the more effective serves of the team today, and that's probably a good time to call the power play.
Roshi takes care of it.
Alana Hassel just maybe a little bit late to that ball.
Canberra Heat getting a double block to the middle. That was great timing from Kayla Cantrell
And Jaha.
Jar Burkett just to get up there together.
They get one of their 3 power plays. Let's see what they can do on the second one. Oh, the one hand up.
Good defensive touches. They just need to refocus and return this.
Great
With a
swing.
Tremendous cross-court swing.
I think they got away with that one because the roll shot into Roshi provided a free ball situation for the Vipers that didn't quite execute. So I think they would be pretty happy to get away with that. So that's 2 out of 3 power plays. They're on to their 3rd now. I didn't even talk about the serve this time.
Didn't even talk about the serve this time because she's been so effective. You probably could have. But unfortunate. But 2 out of 3, still be happy with that. Gets you a little bit of a lead.
They've put themselves in a good position now. They're 10-8 up. Melbourne do have one more power play to use in their back pocket, though. They've got to use it. Well, they've got until 12 to use it, so they can hold it in the back pocket for a little bit. But I wonder how long Carl Lim wants to let the Canberra Heat have this lead for.
Don't want to let them build any confidence, which they are definitely got back in their bag for good reasons. They've been playing tremendously. Great pass. Maylin with the high ball set. And Kayla Cantrell
doing really well.
just
Coming on
long.
this. Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought that had caught it, but that was it. Like, she's been really effective as a hitter.
Yeah.
These last couple of points, this set, last set, actually the whole game. Give her flowers. She's been tremendous at the stick.
I wonder if she'll get the chance to go again. Oh, unfortunate.
Just loses it.
So this is the interesting thing we see. Melbourne Vipers doing pretty well to cut this lead down without using a power play. Because they've got one more, do they just use it? You're not going to get it refunded next game. You may as well use it. I wonder if we'll see it once they get to 11.
Can't cash it in for any rewards or...
No. There's no bonus points for holding a power play at the end of the game. Although that would be interesting.
Oh, just doesn't catch it high enough. Goes into the top of the tape.
Doesn't quite bounce back enough or off the blocker's hands to be counted.
They might use it on their side out. They're not. They're going to hold it till their serve.
I wonder if he will wait until 11, the last moment that you can call it. Great work from Arwen, contorting her body off the net, because that was a B ball from Louise Bates, quite far off the net. It's a hard ball to hit.
I think we did miss talking about it. The substitution, Alyssa came on for Eliza Hines, just to play that backcourt row.
Yep.
You don't get much reward for that, but she did it well.
And there we go. We do see the power play from the Melbourne Vipers right when they're about to cross the threshold of not being able to call it. They are, however, unsuccessful for the first rally of their power play. Canberra Heat doing a really good job attacking out a system and putting them under pressure. Can Jaha put enough pressure on this ball to stop the Vipers from getting the extra points?
Gwen Thornton just rotating a bit too much.
Catching
Couple
that
opportunities, so just turns, gets that antenna. Because that block did a good job of getting up there and out there, so she had to change up to the available options that were to her, and she just couldn't find that one that time.
The last and final power play of the match. Let's see what the Vipers do with it. Just unfortunate. Did a really good job to get the dig, get the set to a hittable position. maybe just a little bit low and a bit too quick. So the Melbourne Vipers only getting one of their 3 available power plays.
We see Amanda Uren substituting on, but so just to change it up, they've got the lead 1 point. They've worked it back without needing all their power plays. So
let's see if they can steal this set. Or oh my lord!
Wow, Chloe Walker,
it's
tremendous
a phenomenal
angle.
hit.
When they're up there, those Canberra Heat middles are a force to be reckoned with. They are presenting, making that job so easy for a setter. Love to see it.
That was an incredible hit. I reckon that's the first high ball pipe we've seen from the Vipers that hasn't put pressure on the Canberra Heat.
Both teams have found ways to be effective on negative passes. Canberra Heat just really winning that battle this set. Vipers maybe struggling at this point in the game.
Great angle.
Kiani Dodd. These Canberra Heat hitters are finding those sharp cross. They've been finding it all game long. This set, they've just finally strung every aspect of their game together. That brings set point for them. They're fighting to earn these championship points. They've got a little bit of a buffer. And they draw.
They draw the double with a good serve, and that concludes the game. Canberra Heat, they fight through it all. They claim those 2 championship points from winning the set. Unsure if they get the bonus point. Don't know if they're within 10. I don't think so. I think it'll be quite close.
Hard to do if you lose 4-1, unfortunately, but those 2 championship points, I guarantee, will be crucial at some point this season.
They'll be thankful they worked hard and got those points. It will give them a good opportunity later on in the season to put themselves in a good position to make finals.
And good to see them work out a rhythm over that game. Maybe a bit shaky after the travel down, and then figuring it out for the rest of the season. Yeah. There's still weeks to come. Unfortunate to get a loss today, but the Melbourne Vipers were tremendous, I think, in most aspects of their game today.
Yeah.
Their transition play, their attack out of system, their attack in system.
Their ability to put pressure on the opposition team, no matter what situation they were in, was incredible. Canberra Heat look really promising today for me. I think they, being a young team, I think they learnt so much this match. We saw it from set 1 to set 5. They look different. They look more confident. They're getting digs. They're hitting the ball out of system. And when their middles are being set and when their middles are on, they look really good and they look scary. I would be a little bit worried to be playing them the later this season goes.
They looked like a real cohesive unit today.
Yeah.
So I think those girls will walk away very happy with how they performed. Looking good for the rest of the year.
Yeah. This has been Mitchell Broom and Alex Bai with Net Talk. Thanks for joining us.
For round 2 of the Mahindra Australian Volleyball Super League. Catch the games coming up, I believe. A new live stream to watch the Queensland Pirates versus
the Adelaide Storm.
So that'll be a tremendous game.
Yeah.
A couple of teams coming off wins, good performances in round 1, very close games in both the men's and women's side. So that'll be a couple of heavy hitters over there with some national team veterans.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.